What's up, guys? Hey, it is DJ here talking to you guys about what life is like here in Northeast Tennessee. We interview local business owners. Guys, we're here with May, the owner of West of May Boutique right here in downtown Johnson City. May, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks so much for coming and joining me.
Absolutely. So this is what type of boutique? Kind of characterize it for me.
Well, it's a women's boutique. I have clothes, I have gifts, I have jewelry and accessories and stuff like that. But I try to make it really just like approachable and fun and easy to come in here and find something that speaks to you. I try to carry things from local makers along with trendy items. So it should just be accessible and fun to come in here and get dressed.
I love something you just said, which was local makers. So tell me, if you come in here and you're looking for something, maybe you're visiting, maybe you want just something very unique to JC or the surrounding area, what would that local maker item be?
Well, it kind of depends. So on the first Sunday of every month, I do host a First Sunday event, although in December it'll be the second Sunday, where I'll host a couple of pop-ups within the store of local Johnson City businesses, usually women-owned. So December, I have someone who makes handmade stockings, makeup pouches. I have someone who does ceramics, who's going to be bringing in ornaments that they're selling, a little bit of everything. So that would be one way that you could support hyper-local here. Otherwise, I try to always have at least one or two Tennessee makers featured in the store. So right now I have a candle company that's from Northeast Tennessee, and they also hire women who are trying to get out of domestic violence situations. All of their candles are clean, non-toxic. So I keep a rotating group of items and try to keep at least a couple of Tennessee makers in at all times.
That's awesome. May, I heard you say a lot about pop-ups. Is that just a random thought you had, or what's your idea for amplifying local pop-ups?
I love community. Like, that is what I'm all about. That's how I got into retail in the first place. Before this, I was a retail manager for like 10 years. And I started with Lululemon back when it was super grassroots. And we did tons of events and a lot of really fun ways to connect with the community. I fell in love with that. And so that's my vision for here, is that Johnson City is such an incredible like melting pot right now. There's folks moving in, there's people who have been here forever. And I want to be a place where people can come together and share ideas and make new connections. And so that was really my thought, is like, how can I take my platform and my space and amplify other people in the community so that they can connect with a new audience, so that they can get their word out there. And like, I'm a small business, but I can still support other small businesses. So that's kind of how that happened. I love a market. My husband will always make fun of me. Anytime there's like any pop-up situation happening, I have to stop. I absolutely need a trinket at all times. And I wanted to have something fun like that here.
I love that idea. So what I'm hearing you say is you're not from here. I'm not from here. But there seems to be sometimes people say Northeast Tennessee is full. I'm hearing you say, as a local business owner, that's completely opposite. And there's actually other people who feel the same way. Is that right?
Yeah, I want to be careful in how I talk about that because I am new to the area. And I want to respect that when you've been somewhere for a long time and it starts to change fast, that can be uncomfortable and weird. Totally get that. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and we actually used to say that about Portland. Californians, get out. This is the problem. But it actually enriches the community. And when being a new person coming into the community, a new business owner, it's so important to me that not only am I bringing something new to the table, but I'm also absorbing and learning as much as I can. Like, my landlord, Kim, was one of the founders of Blue Plum Festival. She moved here like 25 years ago. And so it's cool that now I can be in this space and kind of continue that legacy of bringing new ideas and bringing people together while still respecting the traditions that already exist here. And I've been trying to talk all my friends into moving here too. I didn't realize I'd love Johnson City so much, but it's been actually a really good fit.
Well, if they do need to move here, if you only knew a realtor, you had a pop-up for a little bit, and you've been here since September, but this didn't just happen overnight. Tell me, I've shared you were in retail for about 10 years prior to. This had to have been an idea for a long time coming. Run us through what it took to get from idea to us sitting in your storefront right now.
I mean, how long do you want to go back? Because I feel like I've been dreaming up something like this forever. I was like the kid with the lemonade stand. Like, I was out here swindling all of my family for money with businesses from a very young age. And then I think even in high school, I started a list of like clothes I would carry in my boutique. And then I abandoned that idea for a long time while I chased my career and grew my career. But ultimately, I moved here a year ago. But for the first 7 months, I actually lived in Durham, North Carolina, and my husband lived here. And I was continuing to pursue my career and climb the ladder. I was with Viore at the time, and I was opening stores in North Carolina. And a series of unfortunate events happened. I got in a couple of car accidents. Our dog got hit by a car. Like, all of these things kept happening. And it was also horrible being apart from my husband. And I wanted to be here. And I looked for jobs and I looked for jobs. And I couldn't really find anything that made sense. So I was like, well, if it's not making sense, then let's really make it not make sense. And I'm going to open up my own business. So I've always had this idea. I've always kind of thought, if anyone can do it, I can do it. I think it was like the day after my dog, she's fine, my dog, by the way. The day after my dog got hit by a car, I was kind of reeling, and I took a few days off work. I didn't go back to North Carolina for a few days, and I stayed. And I brought my laptop to Fearless Coffee, and I just went hard. I started making a business plan. I was trying to make it come to life. I reached out to friends who own boutiques. I just looked up everything I possibly could about how to make a business plan, how to crunch the numbers, what I would want to carry, and I made a PowerPoint presentation. And I just kind of kept finessing that. And I want to say that was probably late April, early May. While the idea percolated for probably a decade, the actual birth of the business happened between April and July. I built out the business plan. I made a pitch to get a business loan. I got shot down. I got shot down again, and then shot down a third time. And they said, here's this tiny little bit of money we can give you. And I said, fine, I'll take it. I'll make it work. And then I started looking for a space. And Allie, the owner of Saluna Sage, she sent me a reel that Hannah, the owner of Blue Willow Bridal, which was in this space, had posted. And Hannah had said, we're moving. And Allie said, she hasn't posted, but you should reach out and see if anyone's going to rent that space. And so we did, and I had coffee with her, and we hit it off, and she connected me with my landlord, Kim, and I was able to get into this space. Took a lot of persuading because I didn't have a business personally yet, but with my business plan and my history in retail, I was able to get into the space and sign a lease, and that lease started mid-August. So I think it was the day of the sidewalk sale, I had my pop-up. I got the keys at the sidewalk sale to here. We broke everything down and opened the door to here and left it all in here. And then painted our little hearts out until the end of September and put up the fixtures and got everything in here and opened, I want to say it was September 29th.
That's amazing. So it was an idea that had been in there and was being watered and tended to and never really placed on the back burner, but just ready for the opportunity. And it sounds like from what you said, the opportunity was hey, it's now or never.
Kind of, yeah. There's never maybe really a good time or a bad time. There is a time, and you just have to jump on it. And it was a huge risk, and one that I felt that my background could support, and I'd crunched the numbers enough, and it was just a step out in faith for me and my husband to do this. And that's the other beauty of Johnson City is right now, at least my experience has been that the downtown is very small business friendly and very new business friendly. I could have never done this in a big city with the small loan that I got or my landlord taking a chance on me, but I could do it here. And that's been pretty incredible.
You hit on a point that I was going to bring up, but you kind of gave me a great segue to. We've done a couple of these interviews so far where we've talked to local business owners here. There seems to be the same theme in every single one, and you could go to the videos and check it. Every single person says, when I ask them the question about, what's it like being a small business in Johnson City, everyone says it's amazing. Everyone's great. The other businesses reach out. I was on social media the other day, and I think tons of people had all collaborated to make a reel specific to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, all highlighting each other's business. So I think the central theme of there is it's never competition down here. It's all collaboration. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree. And that was something I was really prioritizing when I came in and that I continue to prioritize in how I interact with other businesses, owners, and other people downtown. You will never hear me badmouth another business owner. I will only uplift because I really believe that the rising tide lifts all ships. If we want downtown Johnson City to be full, we want these empty storefronts to fill up, we want this to continue to be a place where we want to raise families and plant roots, that is the only way forward is collaboration and pushing each other forward. And that has been my experience so far, which has been really incredible. The collaboration is unmatched, and I only wish that people who are not downtown business owners, just in general, had the same excitement and fervor about uplifting downtown businesses as all of the business owners do.
That's so well spoken. You're sitting in your own storefront. You have the public, you have the local businesses here supporting you. I want to switch gears real quick. So tell me about the inspiration for this boutique, because I will tell you, I know very little, if anything, about boutiques. But just tell me, you had an idea, you saw the blank slate, and now we're here. Walk me through the flow of this.
I mentioned earlier that I'm originally from the West Coast, but now I've lived in the Southeast for over 15 years. I lived in Richmond, Virginia. I lived in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, in Dallas, in Nashville. And I think because of all that experience of living on both coasts and having family and being planted in multiple places, I've never really felt like I could fit myself in like a style box. And I feel influenced by so many places that I've been so lucky to live. And I saw an opportunity to open and curate a space that also didn't fit in a box and that would have things for people to shop that felt like they could express themselves, like you can push yourself a little bit with creativity, but also some staple items that are just easy to wear and comfortable and kind of rooted in like a little bit of an outdoorsy influence, but also you might like to get dressed up. So I guess all that to say that this is kind of like for anyone. You don't need to be like fitting in one mold or another to shop here. And that was important to me to create.
So May, tell me the absolute best part about owning a business, and not specifically to downtown Johnson City, but in general. What's your thing? You go home at night and you go, this was the best part of my day, just owning a business here locally.
It's for sure the people. If I have a day where I have a few regulars come back in, I like go home and I'm like, oh my gosh, guess who came in today? It was this person, and this person, and they told me about their family or what they did this weekend, and they stocked up on another one of those tank tops they loved. And so now there's people, when they come in, I can greet them by name and ask them what they did last weekend. And that is, again, like back to the community piece. Like I want this to be a place where you can come in and like not only shop and find a cute outfit, but like you feel like you feel authentic, you feel accepted, you feel welcomed. And whenever I have a moment where I can really like spark that and curate that and welcome someone in with open arms so that this can be a safe, comfortable place for them to hang out, that feels so good. So building regulars and building community is everything. Most of the 2 months that I've been open so far, I've done like a preview sip and shop night before I drop a collection. And those have been really well attended so far. And it's so cool to see, like, maybe it's the one person who has been shopping with us, they'll bring in like 3 friends with them. And then someone else who's been shopping with us will bring a friend with her. And everyone's all of a sudden like in the fitting rooms together, they're sipping wine, they're trying things on, they're taking pictures, and like the vibe is so high. And it's so fun to see people continuing to prioritize coming back to events like that, because they know, they're like, I'm going to see a familiar face. Like I'm going to be able to catch up with someone. I'm going to meet someone new. And I'm also going to leave feeling cute with a new outfit. So that's been really rewarding.
I think this is really important. It's something to bring up. We were talking before we started filming. The goal of this channel has and always will be to take this story and put it out there so everyone can hear it. Because I think it's a lot easier to swipe your card when you know that the person you are supporting also wants to support you, right? Because again, every person we talk to, they normally say, give me the feedback, let me know what you want. Please, let's make this a collaborative event where you got insight and I have opportunity, and let me meet the need as much as I can for the public. So I think that's a really important note to put out there, is that when you're supporting a local business, this is not just like a big conglomerate, like enter box store right here. I'm not getting sued. I'm not saying anything, but you're supporting a person's life who actually like cares about what you're saying, right? I think that's a really cool point. It's very important to say.
Your input really matters in a small business.
I'm going to ask this question because I think it's very important for the holiday season that we're in right now. Again, I'm not going to buy anything here for myself, but say I'm a gentleman and I go, hey, May, I want to knock Christmas out of the park. And I show you a couple photos of my wife, Mrs. Slivka Property Group, and we look and we see, okay, we got a central theme of what Mrs. SPG likes to wear. So why don't we look at this piece and this piece and this piece, and why don't we take it back? Run me through that. If I brought you pictures, I brought you concepts of what she likes to wear. Help me be a home run hitting husband.
I got you, first of all. You can either come with me and show me the pictures and show me the vibe, and I can help you pick out a few pieces. Every capsule that I drop is meant to be like mindless. Like I drop a capsule at the end of each month, and it's going to be all things that kind of go together. So you could pick out a skirt, a top, and a jacket all from that capsule, and it's going to be in a similar vibe, similar color scheme, similar kind of look. So like the last one I just did was it was called the Highland Holiday Collection. And all of it, a little bit on the dressier side, maybe a little bit more holiday forward. You could shop from that, and it's kind of foolproof because it's all meant to go together. The other thing is right behind you, actually, there is a paper that says My West of May wish list. So what you could do is you could send your wife in, or you could send whoever it is that you're going to be shopping for this holiday season, send them in to me. I will give them a wish list. They can fill it out. They can try on everything in the store, fill it out with the name of the item, the size of the item, the price of the item. They can write down candles and earrings and whatever else they want. And they can either take that and give it back to you, and then you can come in and be like, here's the list, here's my budget, pick out what you have. Or they can leave it with me, and you can come in and be like, hey, I think my wife made a wish list here. What's on it? I'd like to get her 3 things off of it. So I want to make it super easy. And then I think in the future, it'd be really fun to make that an event where we have all the ladies come in and fill out a wish list, and then maybe the next week the dudes come in and they do the shopping, and maybe we have a little whiskey or something. And anyway, I'm always thinking about events and ways to make things easier and ways to make things more fun. So those are some ways that we could nail Christmas for your wife.
Yes, that sounds like it would be a no-brainer for me.
Right.
You did a couple pop-ups, and you've been open for about 2 months now. It's a short time, but give me your most proudest moment since you've opened.
Most proudest moment since I opened. I think probably like the first little sip and shop preview night that we did. Johnson City, here's something fun to learn. Maybe you know this. Very last minute town. You are not going to get people signing up for stuff 2 weeks in advance. They are going to sign up 3 days in advance, max, same day, a lot of the time. So before this event, I had put a lot into curating, and I was like, this is going to be so fun. I had Vino Noir coming in to pour some wines she selected. I had a whole new capsule dropping. I had like no signups, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. And then that week leading up to Thursday, I think I sold 30 tickets, and the event popped off. It was packed in here, and so many people who had been supporting me since the pop-up days. My first pop-up was at Fridays after 5. And that's kind of how I got introduced to the community. And so there have been people who have been following me since then. And so that was an opportunity for people to come in and celebrate and kind of like show their support. And so from stressing from, oh my gosh, I haven't sold a single ticket, but I've put so much work into this, to, the day of the event sells out and we're packed and we have a line for the fitting rooms and everyone's in here celebrating. That was a pretty incredible moment. And ever since then, the majority of the people who came have been repeat customers and become friends.
For someone not involved in the JC ecosystem, or they don't know what that means, you just mentioned something, Fridays after 5.
Yeah.
Run us through what that is.
It's another really awesome event that downtown Johnson City throws, which also, if you're not from here, we have just a really incredibly involved downtown organization here. When I first moved to Johnson City, one, I saw the potential of this place, and then 2, I saw these events that are so well curated and people just pour into them. So Fridays After 5 is an outdoor music concert that happens on Fridays after 5 in the summer at King Commons Park, which is this incredible park right behind my shop now. And they pack these out. I was like so impressed at my first one. The whole amphitheater is like tons of people, picnic blankets, chairs, everything. And I just kind of shot in the dark. I had decided I was going to open this business, and I saw that they had pop-ups. Surely it was just mostly a beer tent and a Trek bicycle tent, but I said, exposure's exposure. And I went ahead and set up our little pop-up tent for our first one at the outdoor concert, and it did really, really well. It was an incredible event and a great opportunity for me to get my name out there, and there were a lot of folks who have become customers since then.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think from when I first started going to those till now, they didn't have pop-ups. They barely had any sort of food or anything to drink or anything to do. You just kind of sat down and watched music, and now it's turned into it. The only part of it is it does get a little warm.
It can.
But if you go out there and you got a good setup, It's and then it gets closer to the afternoon. It's a very enjoyable Friday night.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what do you wish more people knew about your boutique here?
About my boutique here. One, where it's located. So being quite literal, I'm just a little bit off like the main drag of Main Street, Johnson City, if you will. And so I'm down on West Market Street, and it's kind of a little bit of an up and coming area where we have opportunities for some really incredible new businesses to take root in the next couple of years that I'm really hoping for. I also have a lot of parking. So that would be the number one, very literal thing that I wish people knew about the business. The other thing is that, like I've mentioned in this interview already, I want this to be a place where you can come in and feel connected and feel seen and feel like yourself. I'm very pro, like, there's no need, you don't have to pull anything off. You just need to dress in things that feel good to you and that you feel like you in. And I want this to be a place where you can come in and find things that make you feel more like you and maybe stretch your creativity a little bit and maybe plug in. So those are all of the things. Is I want it to be a little bit more than just a shopping experience. Like, I want to know you. I want you to talk with the fellow customer who's shopping too, and kind of just build a little something here that goes beyond just leaving with a cute outfit.
That's awesome. So if someone wants to know more about what you have in the store, if someone wants to kind of know more about your sip and shop events, where can they find more info about you?
I'm really active on Instagram. You can find all of my events on there. So our next one is going to be our second Sunday vendor pop-ups on December 14th. And so you can come in and we'll have 5 local businesses in here selling handmade goods, unique things that you can grab as a gift for Christmas. I'll also be participating in the downtown Johnson City Sip and Shop. I won't be doing a preview night this month because Christmas, but you can check again for January. I'll post all of my events on Instagram, and I have a events highlight on my main page. I also have a website, so if you're not local and you want to order from me and support, I would totally welcome that. I will ship anywhere. And you can also find an event list on like our About page on the website as well.
Let's zoom out 5 years, and you're sitting down again and you watch this after it's gone viral on all social platforms.
Surely.
I mean, just millions of views. And you look at it and you go, wow, this is really cool, but I never thought I'd be in this spot, and I never thought the town would be in this spot. What does this spot look like for you?
For me, in 5 years, I don't know that I have like expansion goals necessarily. I think I just want to continue to like root into the community and go maybe deeper instead of wider, and just continue to like put back into the community and host more events. And maybe in the future, I'd like to get involved with the downtown once I've kind of learned a little bit more from some of the other business owners here. That could be something I'd see myself getting involved in the future. I think Johnson City has so much potential. There's so many people both from here and coming here with amazing vision for what community can look like and what Main Street can look like. And there's a lot of space for that. I would love to see these vacant buildings occupied by small businesses. Love to just continue to see that small business ecosystem thrive. Like you said earlier, it just feels so much better to spend your money with someone who you're going to see at the brewery later, probably, or who you're going to take your kid to the library with the next week. Like we live in such a small community here that's so tightly knit that every dollar you put back in is going directly into someone's pocket and directly into our community. And so like the best case scenario is just that Johnson City is continuing to lean into that and continuing to be a place where people can have the opportunity to create and grow and open businesses and put back in and just, like become a richer place to live.
Guys, thank you for sticking around and watching this amazing interview with May, the owner of West of May Boutique here in Johnson City. She is amazing. This place is only 2 months old, and it is one of the best places to go for shopping in the area. So hope you like more. Please like, subscribe, comment, literally do everything you can to make this video blow up.